and welcome. This is Kids and Mom, your number one parenting show on TV. This show is dedicated to children and their moms. My name is Yele and I am your host. Today's show promises to be interesting, informative, and educative. I do not want you to go anywhere because we'll be right back on Kids and Mom. Welcome back to the show. Today's topic is a very interesting one which I have very good passion about because it is something that I believe every child and every mom must know. Today we will be talking about handwriting skills for children. And I have on the show with me today Oladosu Olubomi. She is an extremely passionate educator with over 10 years experience teaching in the nursery, primary, and secondary education. She belongs to the Handwriting Association and Content Developers of India, also currently running a degree and a course in the International School of Handwriting Analysis. She joined the educational sector as a class teacher. In the course of her teaching journey, she developed a special interest in helping pupils write legibly. And because of this special interest, she started what is known as the Handwriting Fixers. Now, I am going to be speaking with Olubomi on this very interesting topic. Olubomi, welcome to Kids and Mom.
Thank you for having me.
You look very beautiful.
Thank you very much. So you're looking back.
Thank you. So now tell me, what really spurred the desire and the interest in handwriting for children?
Okay, so it started when I was a class teacher in the school settings, and I discovered that a lot of pupils in my class would have low grades because I couldn't read what they were writing, and I felt like, okay, I needed to help them achieve a good handwriting. So I became so much interested in doing research on how to help a child develop a good handwriting. And in the course of my research, I discovered that there's more to handwriting than we see.
So tell me, exactly what is good handwriting?
Okay, good handwriting for me means that the ability for a reader to be able to have a clear understanding of what has been written by the writer is what I call it.
Okay, so in your years of being a class teacher, what has been the level and the value at which students and parents place on handwriting?
Okay, for that question, what we see now is that it's such a pity that technology is about taking the place of handwriting. But like I tell people in my trainings and when I have the opportunity to speak to parents, I let them know that handwriting and technology all play different roles when a child is growing up or when a child is in school. Handwriting has its place and also technology has its place. So handwriting for me is a skill. Is a skill that needs to be used every time. It needs to be learned. But technology is a tool. Technology is a tool. It's a tool that can also be used to teach handwriting. But handwriting is a skill on its own. Like literally everybody writes. You go to the market, you see the traders writing. You go to the church, you see people writing sermon and all that. So handwriting is not something that is limited to just only the educated alone. Everybody writes. Irrespective of what their content is, we all write.
Now, the way you're talking about handwriting, it feels or it looks like it has characteristics. So can you tell us what the characteristics of a good handwriting?
A good handwriting, for a child to have a good handwriting or for an individual to have a good handwriting, there must be something what we call a good letter formation, a good and a correct letter formation. Then there's also the spacing that also takes its place. Then we also have sizing. We have sizing. Then we also have the style of writing, which is we can write in print, we can write in cursive, and then there's also another thing we call Nelson handwriting in the educational system.
Oh, that's good. So all of this play in every sentence and everything that we do.
Yes, it does.
So can you enlighten our mothers on the importance of very good handwriting for their children?
Okay, yes. Now, apart from writing in the book, when we write, our brains, it engages differently. For example, if you are trying to write something on the paper, you discover that the more you write, the more ideas are coming in. Unlike when you're typing your phone. Sometimes you type your phones and most times you run out of ideas. But the moment you're writing, you can be able to express yourself. Handwriting is also helps you to express your thoughts when you're writing. So when you're writing, your brain is engaging differently. Your brain is working, the memory is working at intervals and all that. So another importance of handwriting is that it helps a child to be proud of what he or she has written. When I was in class, when I was still a teacher, I used to have some children in my class after their activity. You see them staying at the back because they don't want me to see their ugly writing. Whereas you see the children that has good handwriting, they really come to us, "Oh, Mrs. I'm done," and they're so happy. They have that fulfillment, they have that pride in presenting their work.
I would say kids can improve handwriting by writing often. Maybe writing short stories, writing letters, and all sorts.
I think it has to do with constant practicing. So for a child, for instance, you know that a child is not really good in handwriting. So it's best as a parent to give him things that has to do with writing almost all the time. So even in school, you let the teacher know about it. They give the child things that has to do with writing. So constant practicing, writing, using the handwriting note. I think there's a notebook called 2D exercise book. So for children, using that constantly helps them to improve on how they're supposed to structure their writing.
Drop your comments and questions on our Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. You earlier mentioned different types of handwriting. You mentioned the print, you mentioned the cursive, and you mentioned the Nielsen. So can you explain the fundamentals of all of these styles of handwriting?
All right, okay. So for the print, we have two basic types of print. We have the Xenoblosa and we have the Denalian. Usually the Xenoblosa is what most of us write. That's writing our letters without the curves.
Okay.
Writing our singular letters without the curves. Then the Denalian, we write it using the curves. So the only reason why the Denalian font has the curves is because Denalian font look forward to you teaching your child cursive.
Oh.
So when the child can write the letter singularly with the curves, it helps them when they are connecting the curves to each other.
Oh,
so that's for the Denalian. Now for the cursive, we have different types of cursive. We have the American cursive, we have the German cursive, we have the British cursive, we have the italics. So depending on which of which you want to learn, they all have similar letter formations but different joinings. For example, now what we focus more in Nigeria is we focus more on the British cursive and the American cursive because that's really the kind of curriculum we use in the educational system. So what we do is a lot of letters are shortcut for Americans because they really don't like to stress themselves, unlike the British.
All right, so how can parents help their children to improve their writing?
Okay. The first step to helping your child achieve a good handwriting is, first thing is focus more on getting them things that will help them with their fine and their gross motor skills. So when I say the fine motor skills, they are the movements of the small fingers in her body, then while the gross is the movements of the large. Because apparently when they start to write, these two skills begins to work because they need their fingers to write, then they need their body for the sitting posture, the body movements, the good positioning and all that. So I encourage parents to reduce their children using tabs because there's really, when you punch the keys on your tab, there's really no coordination in their fingers, unlike when they are writing, because when they write, all the fingers work together to grip a pencil. Reducing the usage of tab is a good way of helping your child write. Then another thing is you can help them get worksheet from the net. You can download the worksheet that has the letter formation instructions. And also another good way is that make sure that the letter formation instructions you are downloading, it's complying with the one you are using in the school, because that's another issue we face when we help a child fix the handwriting, because at the end of the day we are teaching a different font, the school is teaching a different font. So parents need to work with the school. They need a lot of information from the school first. They need to know the type of font they are writing in the school before they can help their children. So when they get back to the house, when they are aware of that, they can get a lot of downloaded sheets from the web, and also focus more on making sure that they write regularly. It might not be so bulky, the content might not be so much like that, but a little sentence will help them.
Drop your comments and questions on our Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram.
When you talk of a child handwriting, every mother has to pay attention to their children handwriting. Like some of the children, when you look at their books, their handwriting is very, very bad. But by the time you pay attention, there is this book they call 2D. That 2D, when you sit down with your child, you make sure that your child is following the lines. You see, when they follow that line, that is what is called Nelson cursive handwriting. When you sit down with them, you make sure that whatever they are writing is touching the red line, the blue line. By the time they will do it again and again, as they say, practice makes perfect. By the time the child do it again and again, you say that the child handwriting will be perfect.
Drop your comments and questions on our Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Tell us more about handwriting fixers.
Okay, the handwriting fixers in the Nigerian it's a Nigerian leading graphology outfit where we cater for children and adults with illegible handwriting, and we are in Lagos and we're in Abuja for now because we are kind of new.
Oh,
yes,
beautiful.
So we're in Lagos and we're in Abuja. So what we do is we focus more on helping a child to write, basically. Then we also go further again to find out why some children are not writing. You know, I've gone to a lot of schools where you see the teachers beating the child because they cannot write. And I feel so sad because even when a child does not write, there's a lot of things that may be attached to that child, which is not making that child to write at the normal time. Then a lot of times you see the children writing their letters to the back. We call it facing the bush in my center. So when you tell a child your letters are facing the bush, they know they are writing it incorrectly. But sometimes it's not the fault of the child. Yes, it's not the fault of the child. It's a rare condition called dysgraphia. It's called dysgraphia. So you see the children, you see them writing their letters to the back, you see them omitting words in between their sentences and all that. So those are things that when we see a child write, we can identify what exactly is that child handwriting problem.
Okay. Thank you so much, Olubunmi, for coming on the show. I mean, the information you gave today is very surprising because a lot of parents probably haven't heard, the terms and the handwriting education as which we have given them today. So thank you so much, and we wish handwriting fixers the very best.
Thank you very much.
So do you have any last words for parents out there listening or watching the show?
What I'm going to say to my parents watching is that they should please work on their children's handwriting, because there's a different role each handwriting and technology plays, or maybe let's say keyboarding. We call it keyboarding, that's handwriting and keyboarding. They all play different roles. So we need to be able to help the children balance it. They should be able to write very well, and they should also be able to keyboard very well.
Okay, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more information and activities on Kids and Mom.
My name is Jerry BD. I'm in GS3 and I attend Brilliant Child College. I come from a family of 4, my junior sister and my parents. I'm not a very quiet person. I like to make people around me happy. I disturb people a lot. I love disturbing people, and I love it when people around me just smile because it makes me feel very good, and I also love defending people's rights. I would love to become a lawyer. I just have a passion for it. I feel it feels really good to defend people's rights, to make them know their rights, and it makes me feel very bad when I see children, when their rights are violated. So I'll like to put a stop to all that. When I get to senior secondary class, I'll have to go to art class and do a lot of studying. Then when I get onto the university, I'll go into law. Then after that, I'll go to law school to learn more about it. God Almighty, first of all, and my mom. She's my biggest role model. And Mrs. Kate Nwuli. She has played a very big role in my life, and I thank her for that. I love singing, I love dancing, and I love playing. 'Cause all of me loves all of you, loves your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, and I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me. And you give me all of you.
Kids and Mom. 10 top skills children need and should learn. 1. Desire to learn by developing their natural curiosity. 2. Not to have a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 3. Learn about money early. Learn to budget, save, invest, and how to earn. 4. Be thankful. Say please, thank you, and sorry. 5. Have a positive attitude. Understand that words have power. To be optimistic and always do their best. 6. Responsibility, starting with chores. 7. Power to say no to peer pressure and negative influence. 8. Know that they are special, unique, and wonderfully made. 9. Social and communication skills. 10. A growth mindset. Be hardworking and persistent. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. I'm sure you can say that the things that we talked about today was very, very informative for you. Never forget, one key thing you need to take away from today's show is that handwriting is a skill, while technology is a tool. Until we see you again, same time, same station, for another awesome edition of Kids and Mom, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in and see you next time.